Hey guys, my name is Ahad Naiman and today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing Samsung's latest Ultra flagship device, the Samsung S21 Ultra 5G. First off, Samsung has ensured that they have fixed all the problems or lackings in its predecessor in this version of the Ultra phone, be it in the cameras or display or even pricing. Talking about the display, this phone comes with a whopping 6.8 inches Quad HD AMOLED display with the feature of adaptive refresh rate, which basically means that your refresh rate of your screen will fluctuate from anywhere between 10 Hz to 120 Hz depending upon the user's usage in order to optimize your battery life while ensuring that the user's experience is not at all compromised. The display is easily the best display currently on the market, and that's not even surprising considering Samsung's reputation to manufacture one of the best displays out there. The stereo sound speakers with Dolby Atmos enhancement definitely elevates your media consumption experience to another level, be it on Netflix or YouTube or any of your favorite platforms. To be honest, when I first got the phone, I literally stared at the display for a good 5-10 minutes because I just found it to be so crisp and vivid and sharp that I was completely mesmerized by it. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Samsung S20 series design because it did not give me a very premium feel, but that opinion has been completely flipped in the latest Ultra series phone because Samsung has completely redesigned the S21 Ultra. The primary cameras are housed in a metallic frame which seamlessly extends from a matte textured body, which Samsung proudly calls Phantom Black. Personally, a huge fan of anything matte black, so I'm completely sold on the design. All the edges on this phone are curved. That, coupled with the fact that this is matte textured, ensures that one-hand operation is a very pleasant experience on this phone. Now, given that there is a metallic frame for the rear cameras, there is obviously going to be a bump on the rear end as well, which will be very noticeable when the phone is placed on a flat surface. But to be honest, I wasn't too worried about it considering the fact that this phone sports Corning Gorilla Glass both on the front and the back. The Samsung S21 Ultra was the first smartphone in 2021 to feature the latest Snapdragon 888 processor. Unfortunately, the Indian variant does not have the Snapdragon processor, but instead has Samsung's latest Exynos 2100 chipset. Now, Samsung does claim that the Exynos chipset is as powerful as the Snapdragon 888 processor, but the benchmark tests say otherwise. That being said, I personally did not notice any sort of lag or interruptions while performing my daily tasks or even gaming for that matter because we played PUBG at the highest quality possible and we did not notice any sort of lag or frame drops. In fact, as previously mentioned, the amazing display and the stereo sound elevate your gaming experience profoundly. This phone is also the first S-series phone to fully support the S Pen functionality. That means that an S Pen is fully compatible with this device. Now, I did not get an opportunity to use the S Pen with this device because it did not come with this device, and that is something that you need to know, that you have to buy the S Pen individually, which also raises another concern that the S-series phones are not designed to internally store the S Pen, which means that you now have to buy a custom case designed by, surprise surprise, Samsung in order to store the S Pen along with your S21 Ultra. With regards to RAM and ROM, this phone is available in two variants. The first one is the 12GB RAM and 256GB memory storage, which retails for around 1,07,000 rupees, and the second one is a 16GB RAM variant with 512GB memory storage, which retails for about 1,17,000 rupees. Personally, I would suggest that you go for the latter one simply because this phone does not support expandable storage and you will need that extra storage if you're going to be filming with the celebrated 8K camera. The cameras in this phone are quite similar to that of the S20 Ultra. You do get a new updated 108 megapixel sensor, which has this very unique feature called nonapixel binning, which basically converts the photos taken from the 108 megapixel sensor into a 12 megapixel photo while restoring all the details from the 108 megapixel sensor. In addition to this, you also get a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and two other telephoto lenses which are both 10 megapixel each, one of which has an optical zoom of 3x and the other one has an optical zoom of 10x. Samsung has also been constantly marketing its space zoom feature quite a lot. And honestly, I found that feature very impressive. More often than not, I wouldn't be able to identify certain subjects or objects far away, but the camera could, and I thought that personally was very impressive. One thing that I did notice, which was very handy while using the space zoom feature, was that the camera will lock onto a subject when you have zoomed in completely into 100x, and that is very crucial because it then provides stabilization so that you can lock onto the subject and take a fairly detailed picture without a lot of blur because of your hands shaking. When it comes to usability, I don't think that the 100x pictures are completely usable, but up to 30x, I found the details in the pictures quite impressive. The low light performance with the primary sensor of the phone was pretty standard, but I was actually more impressed with the telephoto lenses while shooting in low light or during the night. Despite having a fairly narrow aperture, the telephoto lenses had a remarkable amount of detail in their low light photos. You obviously do not have the option of using the space zoom feature during the night mode, but you can still zoom up to 10x thanks to the telephoto lenses. Talking about the Pixel Bin 12 megapixel photos, I found the photos to be very detailed and sharp. The colors also seem very natural and realistic. The autofocus in all of the cameras is incredibly fast thanks to the laser autofocus sensor. Portrait mode pictures and ultra wide angle photos look very good as well. There is a lot of detail, and I thoroughly enjoyed taking a lot of landscape photos with the ultra wide angle sensor. You do not specifically get night mode for the ultra wide angle sensor, but despite that, it takes really impressive low light quality photos. The Samsung S21 Ultra runs on Android 11 with Samsung's latest UI, which is the One UI 3.1. You do get all of your classic Samsung gestures, features, and shortcuts all into this phone as well. So if you have been a Samsung user in the past, transitioning to this phone will be a very comfortable cakewalk for you. Like I previously mentioned, I did not face any lag whatsoever while performing daily activities, and this probably is my favorite Samsung UI hands down, simply because of its minimalistic look and Android integration. You get a 5000 mAh battery, which was previously even seen in the Samsung S20 Ultra, but the battery life is pretty mediocre because you may probably just get a whole day's worth of power on one single charge. Personally, I would have expected a slightly bigger battery considering the massive Quad HD display that constantly consumes a lot of juice. It is pretty evident that Samsung is trying to establish a completely new ultra premium flagship device market with the Ultra series, and this is very clear with all the decisions they have been taking of late, be it with the elements they use to manufacture their phones, or the components that go inside the phone, or even the technology that is used in these phones. Personally, I feel that there is a lot of value in this phone, especially compared to the likes of iPhone 12 Pro Max, because they both have a similar level of performance, and add to that the fact that this has one of the best displays in the market, great build design, and arguably the best telephoto lenses currently available. This phone is definitely worth the premium price it offers. If you did enjoy watching this video, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this video. My name is Ahad Memon, and I'll meet you in the next one.